Systems prepared.
Okay, looks like we're good there. And away we go. I said away we go. There we go. Hello, everybody. Mr. Moo here in the cockpit, here in Elite Dangerous, here in deep space, continuing on our little trip to who the hell knows where. It's Monday. It's Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody's just, well, that pretty much sums it up. I hope everybody had a good weekend. How do you build on that? Well, you don't really. Anyway, what have we got? We've got a whole lot of stuff. Hardcore, hey, how you doing there? Hey, let's see here. Well, big welcome to Commander Barry Carlion, who followed. Also, Vinerian and Big Pete 789. Thank you all so much for following. Hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to the crew. You don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps. As always, we've got Alex here on my, well, at my side, kind of. We got a Hank, we got a Yuki, poor Yuki. She went into the dentist on Thursday and had to have a couple of fangs pulled. Thursday aquarium interview went well. Second interview coming up today. Excellent! Break a leg. Oh, what happened to me this weekend? I picked up the Elite Dangerous RPG. And I gotta say, I really like it. Yeah, poor Yuki. Well, she'll be doing a lot better once we're done giving her antibiotics. But yeah, it didn't look like much. It just looked like irritated gums from the outside. But you take an x-ray and... oh, that's no good. At a lab head. Yeah, my folks have a cat who had a TME, total mouth extraction. Every tooth in his head had to come out. Not pleasant, but he's doing a lot better now. And apparently it hasn't hurt his appetite or his ability to eat at all. But yeah, Yuki, she had to lose a couple of her upper fangs, and, well, she's a house kitty, so that's mostly okay. She isn't liking the 12-hour medication cycle, though. And it's not winning us any points either, let me tell you. So yeah, picked up the Elite Dangerous RPG, and I gotta say, I'm impressed. I like it. If half the stuff in there, I mean, all the ship stats I instantly recognize. The parts list, 100% if you play the game, you can recognize it. That's neat. So it makes me wonder how much of the other stuff in there is going to be integrated into the computer game. Because they've got a whole lot of stuff. Like, quad bike SRVs. Let's get a scan on this thing first. System map.
System cartography.
Quad bike SRVs. This has all been scanned. What do we got here? Well, it's a ways off, so meh. quad bike SRVs, light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, battle cars, lorries, or, semi-trucks here, that look like really, really supersized SRVs, which, I'd love to see some of those. Nice to have some variety in the SRVs, yeah. Nice that they worked on the SRV physics, also, yeah. Resume course.
Selecting next system in fuel scooping.
Let's get some adjustment here. There we go.
Fuel scooping complete.
Let's see. Fuel scooping. Oh, some explanations, some stuff in there that makes some sense. Fuel scooping. Well, why does it only work in Super Cruise? Because you need that amount of speed to scoop up that amount of matter. I mean, this thing will scoop up a ton of hydrogen a second. That takes a lot of hydrogen, or covering a lot of ground and hoovering up a lot of hydrogen. So, you need Super Cruise for fuel scoops to work, otherwise you're going to be sitting there forever. What else? Let's see here. Falcon DeLacy managed to get a sponsorship deal to provide the Pilots Federation with new starter-level multi-role starships. Yeah, that's true. They do have the stabilizing thrusters, which don't do a whole lot of anything, do they? And I'm trying not to give away the whole show here. But yeah, put some things in perspective. For instance, the ship's classified as fighters. You think of like the Sidewinder is kind of a fighter. The Eagle is a fighter. But they are also multi-role starships in their own right. I mean, you think a Sidewinder's got a crap power plant, but it's still producing 6.4 megawatts. As they said, that's enough to power 6,000 shelters on an expedition. Ship-launched fighters are, they're just totally... They don't even count. Let's see here. One credit. One credit equals $50. So a 150,000 credit starship, 150 million credit starship actually costs around, what? $7.5 billion? System map.
System map. Fuel scooping complete.
Yeah, it's fusion power. But it puts things in perspective that, you've got a Sidewinder and you go, this is a crap power plant. Well, it's still enough to propel a small ship faster than light. Let's see. Yep, 150 million credit ship costs $7.5 billion. Credits are only used on spacer scale stuff. Most of the time you see smaller centicredit denominations. 100 of those is 50 cents each. Ejector seats are still kind of a fuzzy area. I thought maybe they were one-shot FSD launchers, but it's looking more and more like when your ship explodes, you straight up die. And a clone is activated with a brain scan of everything up to your last station-based launch. What else? Let's get going here. Move on. The Federation's even more corporation-heavy than I thought, and that's saying a bit. You can lease time on your computer and smart TVs to corporations so they can broadcast ads throughout your home 24/7. According to the Falcon DeLacy rep, he eventually learned to tune the jingles out. Ryan, hey, just going over some of the interesting stuff from the Elite Dangerous RPG. Not giving the whole thing away, but yeah, I picked up the core book over the weekend.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, there's a lot of cyberpunk stuff in there. You can get a whole lot of cyber gear. Like, it looks like something out of, say, something from Palladium's Rifts books with their cybernetics, or, the Cyberpunk 2020 game. It's got some serious hardware in there. Integrated laser blasters for your hands, built-in boot jets, things like that. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
There are a whole lot of professions beyond spacer. A ton. Up to and including stuff like, accountants. That's a profession in there. I mean, I can't help but think a lot of this stuff is going to get into the, oh, they have mil-spec eyes. Yeah, they've got that. But it makes me wonder, when space legs get introduced, it makes me think a lot of this is going to be incorporated into the game. See here, the Empire is very image-driven. Clothing, status, etc. One wrong comment about the clothes you're wearing can set your social status back by years. Let's see here. Feudal government, socialist economy, so very few beggars in the streets, quote-unquote, but, because of the large social safety net, but that includes slaves. On paper, it's voluntary or judicially appointed, but it looks a lot less rosy under the surface. According to the Falcon DeLacy rep, I've seen former Imperial slaves weep when I showed them a standard cargo container, and I got the impression they were a lot more acquainted with those things than any person ought to be. What else? The Alliance. No surprise here, the Alliance, it's like herding cats. Resume course.
Locking next star system.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Alliance is like herding cats, and for everything they talk about, freedom and being able to make your own way, and, in the Alliance, you're a free man. Well, don't forget the Alliance allows dictatorships. So it seems like the Alliance is more concerned with planets than with people, and they may be close to each other in the dictionary, but there's a bit of difference that you might want to look into. Let's see here. Firearms and various weapons are interesting, in that guns in the game seem to be dirt cheap. 3 to 5 credits for a gun depending on role and configuration. But there's a lot of low-number weapons put out as concepts, experiments, whatever. Trillions of people throughout the galaxy mean these things are, oh my god, expensive for something, that's a one-off or, not exactly the standard mass-produced stuff. You can have guns worth almost as, well, I'm sorry, almost. You can have guns worth thousands of times more than the ship you're flying in. System map.
System map.
Fuel scooping complete.
Might have life, will have life. Yeah, it's like 16 million credits for a prototype submachine gun that fired rifle cartridges. Big ones. Water-based life on you. System map.
System cartography.
Yeah, still being worked on, but it'll get there. The jump date is there at least. So for now, we'll have to eyeball it as I do it. But he knows what's up, so now it's just a question of, when to find the time to fix it. So, no rush. We can get through this. And ammonia-based life. Interesting. We got both kinds of life, ammonia and water. Resume course.
System destination locked.
So yeah, a prototype submachine gun that fires high-caliber rifle cartridges. You need a special shoulder stock for it, or a special brace, or be cyber-enhanced to fire the thing. Otherwise, you're going to destroy your shoulder. Let's see here. Ballistics in outposts and other microgravity environments are probably going to make slug throwers pretty damn lethal. What else? Get a scan going here. 50 new objects. Alright, what do we got? System map.
System cartography.
Oh, we got a lot. Nothing looking terribly life-sustaining, though. Maybe the first. We'll run a scan on the first 3 and see what happens. But, yeah, let's see here. Somebody... In the 3280s, the fashion was big. Big comms, big hair, big shoulder pads, big weapons. And this led to the EVEX Long Barrel Laser Sniper Pistol. That's true hardcore. Which, in the real world, also led to the development of some interesting weapons when, some folks got together trying to figure out the problem of warfare in microgravity or low-gravity environments. One of the reasons that led to the development of the gyrojet pistol. And yes, a sniper pistol. So the designers were smart about that fad of everything being big. They built a big, bulky laser pistol, but miniaturized the components for a laser rifle and stuck it in the oversized housing. Gave just enough room for a pulse laser pistol that could outdistance most other weapons. Well, no, it wasn't a question of recoil hardcore, it was a question of keeping the beam nice and coherent. And damage over range, so... Yeah, they were able to cram the guts of a laser rifle into a pistol-sized, an oversized pistol chassis. Collimated, thank you. What we got here? We've got... Terraforming candidate. Interesting. Gonna need to crank up the atmosphere a bit. 0.01 atmospheres is a little on the thin side. Let's see what we can find here. Yep, applying energies to a target at a distance. But it looks like the big price in a lot of the weapons is their rarity, which, if a lot of these are just experimental things, is no surprise. And also miniaturization. Well, yes, that's still 10 times better than Mars, which means it's only, Unfortunately, that doesn't make it 10 times easier than Mars. Let's see here. Here's an interesting one. A submachine gun designed to be hyper-accurate by using small, high-pressure built-in stabilizer jets to counter the barrel rise. And it would give a tone when it locked onto the center mass of a target. That means it beeps and squeaks whenever you pull the trigger. So it's like this cute little R2-D2 of a gun. garage-built railgun, powered by the garage-built fusion reactor. Very, very Circle of Life. System map.
System map.
Nope, no terraforming candidate here. Let's see what you are. Well, this was for low G environment. It was a submachine gun that could be used for, like, boarding actions, I think. So low G and or vacuum. What else? Let's see here. Yeah, cybernetics, various business, hacking, mafia, anything related occupations. There's always some kind of world where everything is cranked up to maximum. Let's see here. There was one world that mentioned... Let's see here. Your planet worships sports heroes, and you joined one of the thousands of cheerleading teams with patriotic fervor. The team was rife with ambition, intrigue, and obsession with physical perfection. And so the bonuses you get apply to athletics, stealth, sleight of hand, charm. You know, it cranks a lot of things up into, you know, scary levels, really. Ammonia World. Well, that's an interesting find now, isn't it? System map.
System map.
Well, that's going to be a valuable find right there. One more that looks like it might not be a ball of ice. But it also shows how in-depth the game can be already. And that's just in the core book. I think there's 3 expansions released. Exploration, Trade, and Combat. Let's see. Covers that. Alright. So yeah, that was the... just some of the stuff that I poked around with in the Elite RPG. I'm going to have to read it in more depth, but decided to take a break from that and, you know, just kind of fly around and put on the show here. Frustrating, but at least Elite Track is showing jump distance and, you know, other important data. And it'll work for combat and trade missions. System map.
System cartography.
Okay, and you are not terraformable. Oh, sorry about that, iMage. Yeah, just discussing the RPG and some of the interesting stuff in there. So, quick rundown. So you're $50 per credit. Credits can be split down into 100, you know, fractions of. The Pilots Federation does have a lot of power. Kind of like... a rough analogy, I think, would be the Spacing Guild in the Dune books. Yeah, I think they're called... they may be called millicreds for some reason. But then there's... But yeah, a standard credit is like $50 in today's money. That gets dropped down into 100 centicredit or decicredits. And that's 50 cents a piece. And then there's fractions below that. Another 100 below that, which barely gets used. Resume course?
Locking system destination.
Jump.
Preparing for jump.
So the example I brought up earlier was that a 150 million credit starship would actually cost $7.5 billion in today's money.
Hyperspace velocity reached. Temperatures are at an acceptable level. Gathering information, cartography updated.
System map.
System cartography.
And yeah, hardcore super teamsters, basically. Actually, a good analogy might be Comstar.
Fuel scooping complete.
If you're familiar with Battletech, then Comstar might be a name to either run away from or go, oh, resume course. Alex, resume course.
Selecting next destination.
So in Battletech, Comstar controls all interstellar communications. Yeah, it would be a mess. So I think the Pilots Federation regulates currency, like Comstar does, except instead of communications, like Comstar, the Pilots Federation handles trade. At least it's kind of what I'm thinking it is. I mean, it seems like every pilot has to have some kind of Pilots Federation accreditation. Though if they brought in currency exchange, that'd be interesting. I'm not sure if it'd be interesting good or interesting bad, but it would be interesting if they brought that in.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System.
I haven't seen much yet on that. I'm still kind of going through the whole thing, but wait a minute.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay, not a water world. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Oh, I'm sure you're right. A lot of people would do it just for day trading. Actually playing the stock markets in Elite. There's an idea. But yeah, to recap for you, iMage, they were talking about... Oh, let's not do that. That's better. The Federation, federal citizens can... Well, anybody in the Federation can lease time on their computers, terminals, TVs, whatever, to various corporations who can then beam in commercials. You get paid for it, and you eventually learn to tune out the ad jingles, but yeah, that's a thing. That's how pervasive corporations are in the Federation. The Empire talks a big talk about how humane their imperial slaves are, how it's more indentured servitude and totally voluntary or judicially appointed, but the representative for the Pilots Federation said he'd seen way too many former Imperial slaves start crying when they saw cargo containers, and he had an idea that they were a lot more acquainted with them than any human being should be. System map.
System map.
And also that the Alliance talks about freedom, but
Complete.
they still allow dictatorships to join up, so the Alliance really cares more about planets than people. Well, that's just crazy talk. And also under the various, oh, I'll have to take a look at that. Also under the various professions, they showed a boxer with cyborg limbs and gloves. Putting padded gloves on a guy with cyber-enhanced arms seems a lot like putting smoke detectors in hell. Let's see here. What else have I been doing? What else have I been up to? Started rereading my, the old IDW, the IDW Transformers stuff. I forgot how good that was. I mean, I always liked More Than Meets the Eye. And if anybody has read that, you know, it's pretty damn good. And if anybody hasn't read it, you should go give it a read. It's pretty damn good. A lot of world building went into that series. Just spectacular. System map.
System cartography.
Metal content. Are you terraformable? You are not. Let's get these binary planets scanned, see what's there to see. And yeah, if anybody hasn't read the IDW Transformers books, they're really good. They They moved beyond the status quo. They ended the war. And it's been in that state for quite a while, which is nice because they've been able to introduce some enemies way beyond, hey, it's Megatron again. Also, what they did with Megatron was amazing. Metal content and right. System map.
System map.
Nothing really terribly exciting around any of these planets. That's unfortunate. Well, may as well grab the scan on the last one. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's always been... I know they were originally just big on selling toys back in the early run of Marvel. Back when Bob Budiansky was running it, but the demands on that just honestly drove him away from the book. He stopped writing it. Berserker. I've not, no. Resume course?
Selecting next destination.
System map.
System cartography.
Nope. No terraformables here. But yeah, Bodansky was driven away from the book just by the constant demands to introduce new characters based on the toys. And then Simon Furman came in, and the first thing he wrote it for a few issues. Hello, Tritium! Hello, fellow explorer, out here in the deep dark. Furman realized about the time that he submitted a story idea to Hasbro, that it involved the Transformers being killed by mecha cannibalistic bunny rabbits to make Easter a year-round thing, and Marvel rubber stamped it. He realized, what the hell, I can write whatever story I want here. Oh, we got ice, we got rocks. Lovely. Resume course.
Selecting next system en route.
Fuel scooping complete.
Alright, temperatures are good. Oh, lovely. Kill all the humans. Fortunately, the killbots had a self-programmed kill limit. Borg without the personality.
Fuel scooping.
That's saying something, certainly. System map.
System map.
Oh, hi there.
Fuel scooping complete.
Giving it a listen. Possibly a water world, not Earth-like, but it's got potential. Let's go have a look. You know, some days I really wish I'd put the fast scanner on this thing, but... well, and then you just spend time flying there instead of scanning it, so... 6 of one, half dozen of the other. System map.
System cartography.
Okay, we do have a water world here, and terraforming candidate, no surprise. 0.58 G, 300 Kelvin, 0.89 atmospheres, that's not bad. It's gonna need a little work on the atmosphere. That's a hell of a mix in there. Bit of a fixer-upper. Was it The Simpsons? Yeah, The Simpsons episode where Marge became a real estate agent. Place looks so decrepit. Fixer-upper. This place looks small. No, it's cozy. This place is on fire. Motivated seller. Massively networked over FTL comms? Possibly, yeah. Well, we still have yet to make contact with those, let's see what we got. We still have yet to make contact with the AIs that we drove out. Nope, no terraforming here. Resume course.
Locking system destination.
I mean, I seem to remember in the news a while back in Galnet, and good luck searching for it, that there were ships that looked like things like Diamondback Explorers. But it had performance that just made you go, what the hell is this? So I'm wondering if, that there's disguised ships out there somewhere. Possibly, but down that path lies the madness.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System
11 objects must be... Oh. They are all way too far away. Resume course.
System destination locked.
A fuel rat refueled one of those ships. That's interesting. Any performance specs? Or was it all just kind of... is it AI or is it some kind of secret Black Ops? We've modified these ships far beyond hell and gone. Because I'd be interested in seeing what some of the drive specs on those suckers are. Then again, there are a lot of conspiracies and a lot of stories that still need to be resolved in Elite. Ships are unnamed as S... Okay. Yeah, I think I remember something about that.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System cartography.
Whoa, you are... interesting. Went off so fast like it teleported. Oh, that would be fun to get behind the controls on that.
Fuel scooping complete.
Commander Grumpy Andy, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the crew. You don't have to be crazy to work here, it just helps a lot. Oh, I would love to see some of those ships and what they can pull off. It's a gas giant and another star. I can do better. Resume course.
Locking next star system.
Jump.
Preparing for jump.
But yeah, it's ships like that that I thought maybe are, not exactly from around here.
System. Faster than light velocity reached. Key systems are at optimal levels.
Tritium 8, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the crew.
Completing system scan for cartography.
System map.
System map.
Yeah, the meta drive plot, that's kind of sort of been resolved with the story of, what are they called? The gang, the crew, the whatever they are. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
I think they're called the gang,
Fuel scooping complete.
but they are just a bunch of really super influential captains of industry, and Bill Turner, the engineer, he's involved with them. No, I like the new Netflix Voltron. The Cabal, that's it. Thank you, Orion. Yeah. The secret organization that has pretty much been trying to steer, as well as you can, steer the course of the big three powers, all the independent worlds, humanity in general, towards combat or confrontation with the Thargoids. They covered up the Thargoid War, made it all sound like myth and legend and rumor. they've made quite a few explorers, quote-unquote, disappear. System map.
System cartography.
Fuel scooping complete.
And it was actually the, how far away are you? Not that far. This has potential. Maybe not a lot, but 11,000 light seconds. I can live with a little. I can live with that for potential. But yeah, that it's some group that. Oh, what was I? Okay, there was truth to the idea that the Alliance had a Thargoid ship stashed away. And it was actually reverse engineering Thargoid tech that led to the development of the modern frameshift drive. So I was thinking we were going to get some kind of super drive if we can ever capture Thargoid tech and use meta-alloys. Well, we're halfway there apparently. We've got the frameshift drive. Now all we need to do is apply meta-alloy technology to it. Yeah, and then the Cylons swoop in. But no, everything is, as far as I know, FTL networked together. That's why you can't jump into a system that is permit locked. Your jump drive actually sends a message back to somewhere saying, I'm about to jump into this system. And then it gets a green or a red flag saying go, no go. Not entirely thrilled with that idea, but... yeah, modern frameshift drives, as far as I know, actually they are 4 or 5 years old. I want to say they were developed within the past 4 or 5 years. Or released to the public in the last 4 or 5 years. Because the Zurara, I think that was the name of it, the research ship out by the Formidine Rift, that was only, I want to say, 25 years old. And they talked about having to take the long route out there. I want to say that was the Zurara. Limited copyright allowances, yeah. Yep. So you've got that, and I think the Highliner Antares was a prototype frameshift drive. Settlement comms, there's the Dynasty project in the 3 areas, the Conflux, the Scutum Centauri Conflux, Hawking's Gap, and the Formidine Rift. But there was also the Zurara. Well, that's the official story, IMH, because you can, talk to Felicity Farsi or Elvira Martok and see how far they get without cracking open a drive. But even the engineers were encouraged by the Cabal. Trying to get only the elite of the elite to mess with their ships and get things punched way beyond military grade. I mean, anybody that scanned this ship... well, yeah, anybody that scanned the Bifrost or any other ship that I have, I mean, the sensors would probably throw up a lot of flags like, modified, heavily modified, illegally modified, shoot on sight. I mean, there isn't a component on this ship that I haven't modified in some way. Okay, there's the vehicle hangars and the wake scanners, but I mean the thrusters, the shields, FSD. There is a lot of stuff heavily modded in here. Resume course?
System destination locked.
Oh yeah, they could have eliminated pirates, but then they would have lost out on a major source of quote-unquote training. Very social Darwinist. System map?
System map.
Alright, what do we got? Not terraformable, not terraformable, too bad. Yeah, instead they got, they got whoever it was to pass a law saying all starships had to have built-in weaponry. Yeah. Yep, it's... I'm not sure what to make of it. Well, nothing breeds a mercenary army. I mean, armies can be raised for lots of things. Patriotism, self-defense, you know, protection of your own stuff, but yeah, mercenary armies, depending on the mercenary. System map?
System cartography.
Nothing terribly exciting here. Maybe, possibly something interesting there. Let's have a look. Mercy and mercenary. Very close in the dictionary. Very far in definition. Again, back to Battletech, I love the way that they handled mercenaries in Battletech. The MRBC, Mercenary Review and Bonding Commission, and the ratings, and the source books that came out describing, you know, what made each unit tick. Some were just shattered military commands whose comrades kind of bonded together, or banded, I should say. They were already bonded. Others that formed up out of some kind of planetary militia to defend their homeworld because the stuff from the central government just wasn't effective. Was it Greenberg's Godzillas? They're a mercenary unit that started up as... Yeah, FASA was really good at that. Greenberg's Godzillas, they were a mech unit, mercenaries that got really good at slapping on, like, motion capture equipment onto their mechs so that you could CG giant monsters over them. Then they'd just go through old ghost towns or something, demolishing them, and make monster movies. Resume course.
Locking system destination.
The mercenary unit entirely devoted to filmmaking. Hire themselves out to whatever studio. Or some other really good one. Battle Magic. That's the group I'm thinking of. Mercenary Mechanics. You hire them to fix up your equipment. Yeah. Yeah, I've got the RPGs for all, and there's enough leeway in there you could do that.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System cartography.
What do we have here? Nothing really exciting. Resume course.
Locking next star system.
I'm really looking forward to that, Rule of cool, my friend.
Complete.
Rule of cool covers a lot of things. I'm really, really looking forward to Harebrained Schemes' new BattleTech game. Kick-ass hardcore, glad to hear it. That's great. $21 new objects, alright.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System map.
What's your distance? 105 light seconds.
Fuel scooping complete.
Alright. I should probably be able to get a scan on this one. If not immediately, then very quick. Nope, it's immediate. System map.
System map.
Okay, high metal content. Oh, terraforming candidate. 0.93 G, 700 Kelvin, 118 atmospheres. Okay, it's a little on the pressurized and warm side, but nothing you can't fix. Resume course.
Selecting next system en route.
Yeah, hardcore. This one's engineered for range. Pretty good scan multiplier on it too. Not the full, not the top tier god roll, but it's close. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah. Sorry I didn't get around to that, iMage. That would be neat to drop off nav beacons. System map.
System cartography.
Wow, a whole lot of bleh. Though that trinary system's kind of neat. But still a lot of bleh. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Fuel scooping complete.
Agreed. Crew would be a good progression. And maybe multiple versions of multi-crew. Like, you could have the holographic crew members, or you could have people actually fly to your ship and join up. Before going off on an expedition. Yes, but you also have somebody to talk to. So, that helps. 45 new objects. System map.
System map.
That's got life.
Scooping complete.
Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Yeah, it's a big one. What is this, F-class? I think we saw F-class star. But yeah, Conda has 4 decks minimum. Crew of 30. Honestly, on a ship this big, you could probably stick a crew of... Oh, let's see here. What's the length on an Anaconda versus, say, a modern naval frigate, or an Arleigh Burke class destroyer, or something like that.
Fuel
Honestly, a ship this size, you could probably have 100 people. System map.
System cartography.
Oh, we got some interesting stuff. Well, maybe. It's looking a lot more interesting a scan ago.
fuel scooping complete.
Well, let's see what we find. 2 planets. Yeah, or you just leave without the gunner and then they can telepresence in, but they don't get the same shares. 150 meters, so... Oh, really eyeball guesstimate. That's around, what, 450 feet? Thereabouts-ish. So, yeah, you combine that with, say, a Arleigh Burke or a Ticonderoga, or trying to think some of the other... Arleigh Burke's 500-ish feet, so thereabouts. What's the crew complement on one of those things? Or say even, I guess submarines would be a better analogy, because these things are, you know, you can't go above deck. Yeah, I was just thinking that. So like a Los Angeles or an Ohio class boat. So yeah, 100 people on this thing would be nothing. I should know this better, but yeah, the size of a Los Angeles class boat or a Virginia, maybe in Ohio, but a lot of that's taken up by missiles. There you go. There you go, yeah, an Ohio class would be a not inaccurate comparison for an Anaconda. Again, same neighborhood. System map.
System cartography.
Nope, nothing terraformable, nothing terraformable. Oh, well. Let's see here. Argon and methane rich, yay. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
The big problem would be, That's true. The big problem would be, though, and this has been brought up by quite a few people, what would so many people do on a ship like this? I mean, NPCs are one thing, but player characters? I can't see there being... I mean, a small subset of people would love to be engineers, just kind of poking around and, you know, playing with that, but how do you make that part exciting? There's I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that. Oh, howdy, Hank. Now we have a giant beast cat.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System map.
This one, I think, has
Fuel
life.
scooping complete.
Give it a scan here and see. 300-ish on the 300-ish on the Connies and 1,012 on the gas giant with water-based life. 1,012 on the Enterprise D. Resume course.
Locking next star system.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about, you know, trying to make things for multi-crew like, what was it? It was, there's only so many ways to make, you know, make exciting, non-piloting, quote-unquote, mini-games. It just kind of fails out because most people want to be the captain. Most people want to fly the big-ass swarm of fighters. That'd be great. I'd love that. Hopefully with the super carriers we get that.
Fuel scooping.
What was it? Independence War. That one I thought had a pretty good take on how to handle ship subsystems. That's an older game, if anybody's familiar with that. Had a lot of the hallmarks of Elite, though. It had kind of a frameshift drive. It had, you know, you could go flight assist on or off. Resume course.
Selecting next system en route.
Independence War was one of the early, early for me, games that I could get for my computer. There was also a fun one put out called, Hard War. That one had some aspects that I would like to see put into Elite. In Hard War, there were you were all stuck on, I want to say, Titan, and there were various craters interconnected by tunnels, and you flew around in these little light-powered ships called Moths. And you could buy office buildings, or you could buy buildings and have hangar space that you could, you know, set up shop in and repair other ships.
Fuel
System map.
System map.
But yeah, Hard War was fun. Independence War was fun. Independence War was really tough, but fun. Resume course.
Locking system destination.
fuel scooping complete.
Then again, there's enough people that maybe I could, you know, if you wanted to sign on an engineer and somebody was willing, more power to them. I'd love to have a chief engineer. Well, you need parity. Robot Chickens got you covered.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System cartography.
Nothing. Galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Fuel scooping complete.
Oh, we're still a ways out. Well, at least we're starting to get into the... Yeah, we're back. We're approaching the arm again. Out of the hinterlands. Resume course.
System destination locked.
Doesn't feel like I'm making good time, but I guess we're making it. Gone about 30 jumps. And at 58 to 60 light years, I suppose that puts miles on the clock. So as for the other games going on the stream, got my ass kicked again by Long War, trying out various configurations. System map.
System map.
Long War is, well, accurate. Every time I try to find something to counter one weakness, another three crop up. Resume course.
Locking next star system.
Fuel scooping.
So I've gotten us killed there multiple times. Let's see here. Been playing the hell. Takes patience I don't have. Well, regular XCOM, that's not bad. Long War, though, that's a totally different monster. Let's see here. Been playing the hell out of Crossout with Niao. We've been having fun with that. Mad Max meets Kerbal Space Program. Ended up building, as near as makes no difference, the Dreadnought Thunder Machine. Because when you need to build something, you may as well take inspiration from G.I. Joe. Just a couple of stars here, nothing major.
Fuel scooping.
Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Fuel scooping complete.
G.I. Joe always had the neatest stuff. Mad Kerbals. Well, this one's made out of more, scrap metal. That you found in a cave in a box. Knowing is half the battle. Overwhelming firepower is the other half. Someday I will have a separate room. Scrap metal they found by the road. Yeah, often from other experiments. System map.
System cartography.
Someday. Resume course.
Fuel scooping.
Resume course.
Selecting next system.
I will have the space to put the G.I. Joe Space Shuttle Complex.
Fuel scooping complete.
Because, my God, that thing was a holy grail. I mean, when I found... a few years back when they, when Takara re-released Fortress Maximus, I turned into a 6-year-old again. Except this time I had money. And so now I have Fort Max helping, hold up one end of a table. And then, just because, toy companies are bastards and know exactly what's going to happen, they released the brand new Metroplex, which is taller than the original Fort Max. And really makes the old Autobot City look like Autobot Village. System map.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
Nothing really exciting here. I mean, that's kind of neat, but you can't land on it, and And really, God, Jeebus, Kitty Buddha, everybody bless Commander Niao for, actually putting up with my shenanigans when it comes to collecting things. My old Transformers, the X-Wing miniatures, which it helps that she plays too. Helps a lot. The flight seats we've got set up.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System cartography.
I did get rid of a few things. I had an old beat up G.I. Joe space shuttle. The one that was sold without the launch complex. And seriously, look up, I think it's either the Defiant or the Crusader launch complex. It's amazing. Basically, it looks like a Lockheed X-33 Venture Star. Resume course.
Locking system destination.
But yeah, I had the Bear shuttle, and it had been used and abused to hell and gone, so I took some decals and tried to turn it into a Quinjet. Because it turns out, a few years ago, the Iron Man and Avengers figures were the same scale as the old Joes. Which leads to some really interesting ideas, because Captain America leading an attack on the Terrordrome is just something I really, really want to see.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System map.
Oh yeah, Cobra and Hydra working together. Resume course.
System destination locked.
I feel like I should get a writing credit. Then again, I mean, IDW only put the same headcanon that everybody else on the planet had together when they integrated Transformers and G.I. Joe and Mask, where, Mask and Venom were just variations on G.I. Joe and Cobra, special divisions that had been reverse engineering Transformers technology and applying it to vehicles. It's the same idea every other kid on the planet had. And they finally codified it. Codified it? Sounds like fish. Must be codified. They finally made it canon. There. Yep, ROM, Micronauts. They put everything in there. System map.
System cartography.
Canonified. Works.
Fuel scooping.
Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Fuel scooping complete.
Yeah, I don't want to be canonized. Hank? Hank, if there was ever a time I needed you not to be Hank, it's now. Yuki has finally come out of her cube, her little kitty cube. She has finally forgiven me for the unbearable sin of... the unbearable sin of having to force her to take medicine, which, believe me, little miss, nobody liked that. Nobody involved was happy with that situation. She has finally come out and started playing with toys, and immediately Hank goes, "Ooh, somebody else is doing something. I should do that thing too." Resume course.
Selecting next system en route.
Hardcore, are you familiar with the SCP Foundation? Because there is a device mentioned, the Mark II. It's a device to throw things into the sun. The Mark II is a railgun, which has written across the side, "When in doubt, throw it into the sun." And the Mark I was a catapult, which had "Into the fiery orb with ya" written on the side. Made in a garage with a box of scraps. Best kinds of railguns. System map.
System cartography.
Yeah, didn't God say something like I had nothing to do with that thing? Resume course.
Locking system destination.
682 for life. That's, an interesting statement given 682's nature. For some reason, one of my favorites were the self-throwing tomatoes. Tell a bad enough joke and they will exceed the sound barrier. Yes, but it also tends to end the life of anybody else around it, whether or not said local physical constraints are monkeyed with. Hank, look out. Hank, no. Hank. Damn it, Hank. Stop hanking. One moment. Never mind, he took care of it. System map.
System map.
View scooping. View scooping complete.
So Yuki is still feeling a little under the weather, and Hank decided to go over to her while she was eating some food. I've never heard a cat make this sound before, but she was growling at him while still eating. So she was going nom 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 nom. And I don't know if I should be laughing at that or trying to break it up, but Oh dear. That would... Yeah, that would do it. That's one way to make a mess. Well, she was trying to growl and go nom nom at the same time, and it is... She was just staring, just glaring daggers at him while eating, while... Yeah. Cats.
Fuel scooping complete.
Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
What kind of power plant did I stick in this thing? Did I spring for the low emissions, or... Nope, I went with overcharged. The thermal properties of a Conda are not to be underestimated. I mean, I was in a pretty close fast orbit there of that star with the fuel scoop running, and my temperature was staying safe.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System cartography.
Nope. Well, it'd be kind of neat, yeah.
Fuel scooping complete.
Maybe even possibly something like Star Trek Online with their duty officers, their NPC duty officer roster. That might alleviate all my questions. Galaxy map.
Galaxy map.
Let's make this into something a little bit more fun. Oop. There was something near. Just saw it. And now I'm not seeing it. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Hopefully, as we start getting closer to the core, we can start finding some more interesting systems. Neutron stars, black holes, just the really weird combinations of stuff you can get. And of course, a ringed Earth-like is kind of the holy grail. System map.
System map.
Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Resume course.
System destination locked.
Fuel scooping complete.
just a couple of stars.
Fuel scooping.
What's the range? Enough. What are you, F class? System map.
System map.
G class. Just nothing else there. Resume course.
Locking next star system.
Jump.
Preparing for jump. Frameshift now engaged. Confirming exit point telemetry. Stand by. Completing system scan. Stand by. Gathering information. Cartography
System map.
has now been updated. System cartography.
Oh, that would be a definitely interesting response. Interesting as in, you know, oh god, we're all gonna die? Yeah, that would do it. Where in the hell? 86 light seconds. Alright. Well, kicked me out here. Yeah, if I saw something saying Unicron signal detected, we would be going code brown immediately.
Fuel scooping.
No, there's still... It's still code brown.
Fuel scooping complete.
Followed by spinning up the nope drive so fast you'd think Einstein was wrong about the speed of light. Resume course?
Selecting next system en route.
Well, wait. Let's give you a listen. High metal content. Special kind of pretty, but also a special kind of no. Well, that's true. To see a gas giant so close to a star, you know, that it's leaving a tail, that would be interesting. You know, integrating comets and just rogue asteroids. Hell, integrating rogue stars.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System map.
Fuel scooping complete.
Chocolate chip cookie, possible life, maybe water-based. Let's have a look. That'd be nice. Have a co-pilot that turns into the ship. You know, it's interesting when, back before IDW got the license, other companies had been kind of making making bids for, you know, the rights to write Transformers. And DC actually made a very attractive bid And this was pre-final crisis, pre-identity crisis. Post-crisis on Infinite Earths, but before all the other crisis of whatever week, month, whatever. And they said, as far as I understand it, they would have made Transformers part of their mainline continuity. Yeah, hard to say anymore with DC. Then again, I can't say can't say too much. Gas giant with water-based life. All right. Resume course.
System destination locked.
With DC, I can't say too much because Marvel is on what, volume 6, volume 7 of Iron Man? It's frustrating. It's like they reboot the series now just to try to get their hand. Now, the cynic in me says that they're rebooting it so they can get a new shot at, the best new comic of the year award on technicality. Oh, thank Jeebus. System map.
System cartography.
A lot of hydrogen, not much else. And nope. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Fuel scooping complete.
Is there anything non-sequence around here? Doesn't look it. Well, that's what I needed a bit of. Since when was that turned off? Right. Well, time to kick this bucket into overdrive. System map.
System map.
What have we got here? Okay. Yeah. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Jump on my mark.
Frameshift drive
Boost activated.
Mark.
Preparing for jump. Adjusting for jump. Faster than light velocity reached. Exit destination confirmed. Arrival in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exploration data saved.
Looks like we got some candidates here.
fuel scooping.
System map.
System cartography.
Now, what have we got? Well, that's got life on it. Nothing else is terribly exciting, though. Galaxy map.
Displaying map.
God, 564. I started reading... JK... Non-sequence... Okay. I remember I started reading Iron Man at... I want to say 288. It was right after Tony had developed the War Machine suit, right after he'd put himself into cryosleep, and Rhodey had taken over as the new Iron Man. Warm but tolerable. Alright, we can make this. And then in 290, Tony was revived and created the NTU-150 telepresence armor. And this is the part of my brain that algebra is supposed to be in. The telepresence suit, which was somebody's attempt at making a red and gold war machine. System map.
System map.
Oh, you're all kinds of interesting, aren't you? Everything's been scanned. What are you? You're way too far away. Resume course.
Locking system destination.
Algebra 1 I could get behind. Algebra 2, though, that just...
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Boost
Jump.
activated. Preparing for jump.
And then, yeah, in... Let's see here, so...
Now engaged. No anomalies detected.
In 299, the suit got torn in half by Ultimo, and the feedback nearly fried Tony's brain again.
Point telemetry. Stand by.
And Rhodey assembled everybody who'd ever worn a suit of Iron Man armor and
Pulling data for cartography.
put them together.
Fuse.
Resume course.
Locking next star system.
It's not the right words I'm looking for. System map. That's better. Nothing exciting. Resume course.
System destination locked.
Yeah, Tony put it through a lot of abuse. I mean, he needed to... My favorite... I will say, my favorite Iron Man stuff was, the Extremis storyline. I really, really liked that. You know, that Tony got called out on a lot of things. And it showed he wasn't a perfect guy, he was just a guy trying to do good. And then he kind of got... Yeah. Then he kind of got folded in as kind of the... Marvel needed a villain for the Civil War storyline. They picked Tony, I guess, out of the hat. System map.
System cartography.
Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
It's not a bad idea. I also liked, I don't think it was Ellis that did it. It might have been Fraction. The Five Nightmares storyline. Where somebody was making Iron Man tech. Knockoff Iron Man tech.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System map.
Oh, hi there.
Fuel scooping complete.
Well, that's an interesting collection of worlds now, isn't it? Let's go have a look. Let's get a scan here while we're at it. K-class. There are so many good ideas with Marvel that can't really be done to their full extent because otherwise it would just break the universe. I mean, I've still got my 1993 copy of the Iron Manual where it's got Tony talking about the various armored villains he's got. Stiltman. Lol. You know, versus Doctor Doom. The guy knows, in Tony's words, he could build a suit of armor that would rip through mine like tinfoil. And he's a sorcerer. And Tony absolutely hates magic. Yeah, the suspenders of disbelief. But Marvel at least is good enough at poking at itself a little bit that, you know, kind of helps you forget. One of my cherished collections is my copy of Damage Control. And if you haven't read that book, that is hilarious. It's the company that goes around cleaning up after superhero battles. Yeah, some guy picks up some kind of glowing artifact from a battle site, gets transformed by it, and his supervisor just kind of shakes his head and calls up legal and says, "Yeah, could you get one of your guys down here? One of my boys just had an origin." Terraforming candidate. They referred to them in the first Iron Man film, actually. There was a little crawl saying, across the bottom of the TV screen saying, Damage Control was on the scene, fixing things up after the battle with Stain. System map.
System.
I never actually looked at the in-depth here. 0.88 G, 737 Kelvin, 111 atmospheres. Well, at least the atmosphere isn't made of rock or iron. 0.94 G, 744 Kelvin, 120 atmospheres. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Well, that would make sense. Yeah, or some kind of salvage operator, I think, yeah. That's why they called him the Vulture. But I remember in one of the early, one of the previous volumes of Damage Control, somebody was going around passing off bad checks as Victor Von Doom. And when Doom found out about this, they actually made him show 2 forms of ID before he could, yeah. Just imagine you're the poor SOB that thought it was a bright idea to forge Dr. Doom's signature on rubber checks. System map.
System cartography.
Also a terraforming candidate. 1.1 G, 244 Kelvin, 5.8 atmospheres. That's not so bad. 100% nitrogen. Okay, you can introduce oxygen into that fairly easily. Can't imagine what the plant life would be like. Hell kind of world would that be? Anyway. Now on to the ones the pair that really interests me. I don't know, in the same way that you get a guy with... That's true. And hello to Amber the Dumbass Fox. I think we were talking about how in the Marvel Universe with Damage Control, somebody actually went around forging Dr. Doom's signature on bad checks. Who thinks that's a good idea? And yeah, Halloween costumes as villains in the comics would be very bad. Well, it depends on the villain. I mean, some of them would be jokes, like, Stiltman. Okay, here, you've got a guy with power armor whose great big super ability is stilts. He tried taking on Iron Man once. Because, hey, power armor versus power armor. Well, welcome to the crew. And yeah, Stiltman lasted I don't think he lasted 3 pages. I think he lasted 3 panels. Oh, ow. Man, that's making me hurt just thinking about it. So anyway, on to interesting worlds here. What do we find? 3 terraforming candidates so far in this one system. Now, it's these 2 that are interesting me, especially the last one here. Oh, hello, Yuki. The cats have decided they want to fight over the bed that is right next to my desk. This is going to be... This could be very loud, and if you hear any screaming and or cries of pain from me, that would be because the cats have decided to, expand their combat zone into my arm. screaming and or swearing that may, make a sailor blush. I find myself talking like, No, fighting, not mating, fighting. Find myself thinking like Alexander Anderson from Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. Don't you dare! System map.
System map.
Okay. Not terraformable. Pity. 0.77 atmospheres, 235 Kelvin. I don't understand why. It looks like it... yes. The expression comes from the fact that... One second, let me get a scan here. Terrestrial water world, just a water world, 0.6 atmospheres. I guess these two are close enough to terraforming they don't need any change. Resume course.
Selecting next system en route.
But yeah, they are, expression comes from the fact that sailors are known to be pretty salty, so to speak. Yeah, that's the fun part about Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, isn't it? Well, Alucard called it. But, yeah, sailors are salty. It's right there in the name. And so if you can make a sailor blush, you must have a vocabulary far and beyond. Yeah, permission granted. It's throwing together a stream of curses so imaginative and, heretofore unknown. Alright, 1 second. Let's get close to Scoop, and then... No. None of that. Now I'm talking creative, not stupid. She-Hulk versus Stiltman. Yeah, that was... Yeah. Resume course.
Locking system destination.
Fuel scooping complete.
No, really creative. Like, Let me try to find something. Actually, if somebody can find... if somebody knows of what I'm speaking here... the webcomic Girl Power, where Sydney ends up getting into a fight with the, poster tube that she's carrying certain artifacts around in, and unleashes a torrent of terminology enough to actually make a passing sailor blush, as well as make 3 nuns just kind of turn and stare at her with death glares.
Fuel scooping.
System map.
System map.
Not really looking too exciting.
Fuel scooping complete.
Resume course.
Locking next star system.
No, I think she got out of that particular situation by yelling, "Holy shit, it's the Pope," and pointing off in the opposite direction. And then when all three nuns turn around, she runs like hell. Then they get mad because that's like the third time this week they've been fooled by that. System map.
System cartography.
What do we got, Alex? The hell is that? That one might be interesting to look at. Might be another ammonia world. Possibly. And while we're on approach, we'll just grab this scan here. Come on, there we go. Class 3 gas giant. No life, I just wanted to get close while I was, kill time while I was getting close to these. Alright, now for the one I'm interested in. See if we can't give it a visual inspection as well while we're here. And high metal content. Disappointing. Thought it was something more interesting. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Jump.
Preparing for jump. Course adjustment.
Thank you.
No left. Interstellar velocity at maximum. Key systems are at optimum levels, readying for exit. Gathering information, cartography updated.
System map.
System cartography.
Whoa, 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 what in the... Okay, one, totally unexplored, so, Hey, another stop added to the highway. That couldn't be. Oh, we're gonna find out. First, though, we're gonna supercharge the drive.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Boost activated.
Okay, now is that what I think it is? First off, just get a scan on this, because why the hell not? That almost looked like an Earth-like or a water world moon. Around a neutron star. And something like that warrants examination. Also, this thing looks massive enough. I may be able to get a scan off this, maybe 600, 500 light second range. Let's see. Not at 6. Damn, not at 5. Ah, 3 and change. Okay. Well, let's see what we got. Come on, hurry it up. High metal content, no surprise there. Get flipped around, throttle up. System map.
System map.
Okay, what have here? 2.9 G surface gravity, temperature is 2300 Kelvin, 22,534.8 atmospheres. Silicate vapor geysers, atmosphere 94.4% water, 5.1 CO2, and 0.2% nitrogen. Well, good luck mining the place. You're gonna need it. Radius 11,000 kilometers, 8.8 Earth masses, and orbiting at 4.7 AU. Probably wasn't much left of anything on the surface after that supernova. Because, yeah, remember, this is a neutron star system, so everything in here would have been subjected to the supernova that created this neutron star. Hell of a kaboom. Actually, system map.
System cartography.
What's the mass on this sucker? 0.5 solar masses, 0.000, okay. 3.5 billion years old. Surface temperature, warm, 3.6 million. As we go zooming past, because I had my nose in the system map instead of actually flying the damn ship. High metal content makes sense. System map.
System map.
Alright. 11,000, 2.92 G. 1700 Kelvin, 22,000 atmospheres, and again, 94% water. And a water world. What in the hell? Terraforming candidate, 0.8 G, 1.6 atmosphere. 57% nitrogen, 33 ammonia, 9 oxygen. A terraformable water world with a decent surface temperature that somehow survived a supernova. Damn. Resume course.
Selecting next destination.
Jump.
Preparing for jump.
Damn, the physics behind that one are giving me a headache already.
Hyperspace. Checking systems now. Complete. Engage. Engaging exit protocols. Exploration data saved.
System map.
System cartography.
Ah, bleh. Resume course.
Locking system destination.
Fuel scooping complete.
Jump on my mark.
Okay.
Mark.
Preparing for jump. Faster than light velocity reached. Hull integrity is within limits. All other systems are at normal levels. Compiling data for cartography.
Fuel scooping.
Star and a star, and one jump to go.
Fuel scooping complete.
40 light years away, in the glare of this fueling star, and it's still visible? Oh. On second thought. Let's kill the fuel scoop preemptively just in case we end up punching through the star. Okay, throttle is zeroed. Waha. Okay, O-class star. I can tell that one right now. 27 light seconds away. System map.
System map.
That's it. This is the only thing here. 2 million years old, 21 solar masses, 6.4 solar radii. Galaxy map.
Galaxy map.
Well, we're here. I was honestly hoping for something a little bit more, wild, but I'll live with this. Let's see. What do we got on the map now? Where to go? Well, anywhere we want, really. Got a big-ass jump drive. Never been out to this section before. There's our next target. Ufake PZ-N D7-5. Doesn't really roll off the tongue very well, but I'm sure we can figure out something better for it. Re-enable the fuel scoop. Top off the tank while we're here.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Galaxy map.
Displaying map.
And there we go. We are... Damn, where are we? We're about 8,000 light years from home? Thereabouts. Sol system. 9,038 light years. Not bad. Alright, I'm going to call it for here. I think we made it to the destination we originally set out for. Found a few terraformables, a few water worlds, including one orbiting a neutron star. A water world moon. Not bad. That'll do it for me, Mr. Moo. I will be back tomorrow. Same time, if not a little earlier. Always a pleasure to talk to everybody out here. Always a pleasure to meet new people. Take care, and I will see you then. Until then, fly safe. If you can't fly safe, fly dangerous. And remember, there are two kinds of people in the world. Those that think Die Hard is a good Christmas movie, and those that are wrong. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow.